Welcome to the Wellbeing Way.
The number one question of students is, why are we doing this?
The white horses, before you understand it, you'll think of it as first being kind of weird.
We wanted to see what happens when you take a group of college students to mentor high school students.
Yes, it's worth it. Everybody left saying it was really fun.
Is it necessary? I believe so.
And tell them how they feel matters.
What makes you happy in the quickest manner? What makes you find your feel when you're long-term aspects?
Welcome to the Wellbeing Way, a self-discovery process built on one simple truth: how you feel matters. I'm Jay Kmichik. The Wellbeing Way has a long and interesting history, but that's a story for another time. As far as this story goes, after years of offering the Wellbeing Way to college students and other adult groups, we decided to take on our greatest challenge and offer the Wellbeing Way to the entire 9th grade class at Talawanda High School in Oxford, Ohio. Conveniently, Oxford is also the home of Miami University. So we recruited college students to experience the Wellbeing Way for themselves. We then selected a group of those students to participate in the Wellbeing Way to serve as mentors or facilitators and offer the experience to the 9th graders during their enrichment period. Each college student or mentor was paired or partnered with a Talawanda teacher to deliver the experience. Here's the story of that experience as told by some of the 9th graders, the college students, and teachers.
Conceptually, this was an excellent idea that we were kind of trying to format it to deal with freshmen, getting them early as they enter into high school.
This is something a 9th grader should be exposed to, but you know, I've been trying to perfect that for about 40 years.
I went through high school and I know a lot about math and I know a lot about social studies and I know a lot about everything else, but when I graduated, I really didn't know a lot about myself. And I struggled through college because of that, because I was so prescripted. I was so, I walked into every classroom, and as a student in the public school, I felt like I was always searching for the right answer to give. You know, there was always a right answer, and I couldn't be authentic.
I was really impressed with the high school students because it's really hard to get, I think. I have younger brothers in high school, and it's really hard to get them to actually take it seriously.
We're teenagers. I mean, you're gonna have that with almost everything.
9th grade year is very critical. I don't remember the statistics, but students who do not perform well in their 9th grade year tend to not perform well throughout the rest of high school. So if that's something that's related to the way that the attitude that they're choosing or the way that they're living their lives, if they can be touched by the Wellbeing Way in any way, shape, or form, that might be enough to, at least academically and maybe even socially, kind of push them past that point of failure.
A lot of what freshmen get is an idea from the older kids around them, from the seniors, from the juniors, and oftentimes the most visible examples are the most negative. So that sort of gets ingrained.
Seniors are mean to people.
Freshman year high school, everything's different. Everything has changed. I think sort of maybe help us find ourselves and feel what see what we like. Not just try it because the seniors say it's cool. Try it because you wanna find yourself and find what you like.
People say that going from 8th grade to 9th grade is not that big of a deal, but when you're there and you're actually going from being a middle school student to a high school student, it's a lot of stuff you need to adjust to.
I was impressed by the courage to carry out such an ambitious experiment.
You should start early because you might lose sight of it and lose sight of who you are.
Well, the transition in terms of the pivotal years, look at it. You're coming from 8th grade, where typically in middle school you're the big shots. You're in a big school. Talawanda is a fairly large school. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle. It's difficult to create relationships with kids. You have new teachers. There's a whole host of social challenges that you're facing. And so it's just very easy to lose yourself in that. Whatever you can do to have each child, each 9th grader kind of feel like someone's looking out for me, someone's watching over me, someone's interested in me, that could go a long way to really kind of protecting them a little bit in this new environment. And then if you look at the health data shows that the 9th graders, as far as exercising and eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day and getting enough sleep, the data shows that they're doing as badly or more so than adults, college students, and so on. So it's really a very important time in a person's life relating to health, relating to academic work, relating to social life, and so that's why the 9th graders.
The number one question of students is, why are we doing this?
It's just nothing like anything I've done.
Like, what are the white horses for?
Like the white horses, I didn't know what that was.
The white horses was kind of confusing.
The white horses, before you understand it, it'll come across as like, you'll think of it as first being kind of weird.
The quick story behind this is that white horses are really just the crests or the whitecaps in the ocean waves. And now you might think, well, okay, the crests or whitecaps in the ocean wave, what's the big deal of that? Well, if you keep going further, what I started to stumble on just on my own curiosity when I kind of stumbled on the white horses was Sir Francis Beaufort, back in the early 1800s. He was a British admiral. He actually came up with a scale to measure wind. And the scale was from 0 to 12, 0 being the sea or ocean is calm like a mirror, 12 being hurricane force winds. 3, 4, and 5 are kind of like this nice tranquil ocean that has some waves, and he labeled those as white horses. And so really, it's really the optimal time for most people, unless you're a surfer or something like that, really looking for the big, huge waves. Those 3, 4, and 5 on the wind force scale are really ideal times to play in the ocean, to play in the water. So the white horses are really a symbol of play, and the Wellbeing Way is really designed around this idea of when you're playing, you can be yourself.
I stated that we'll use the word feel a lot, but we'll come back to that at the end because it is going to just seem like this broad, undefined category for them.
Your feel is what you want yourself to be, how you want to act. But then a feeling is kind of an emotion.
I think that trying to describe it as one word, your feel is this, I think that, the concept of it being a general consensus of things instead of my feel is, raspberries or something. It's my feel is when I'm doing these things, this is how I like to be. And I think that the whole thing with, when we started, it's all the kids think that we're on this quest for the illustrious feel when it's, we're just trying to get you guys to think a little more about yourself and, carry that with you with everything that you do. That is your feel.
Whenever you said feel, I thought feel, the desk or something, yeah.
In a Wellbeing Way terminology, you can choose your feel. You can choose what you want to feel.
Trying to get to your, the best of yourself. You work on being yourself and being healthy and doing things that you actually want to do.
A lot of people have different ways of finding their feel.
I thought running was my entire life and made up who I was, and the 3 months that I couldn't run, I realized there was a lot more that I enjoyed and liked and was my feel.
I couldn't stand, sitting in that cubicle. Some people like that, some people don't. And I know my feel isn't that.
Feel is everywhere, and it's different for each and every person. This is what makes it somewhat challenging, in that it can't be prescribed, it can't come from someone else, it has to come from you. That's a big difference from a lot of other kinds of approaches to helping people with happiness or whatever it might be. So the real quest for each and every person, whether it be each of the 250 ninth graders or college students or adults or whatever it might be, is to really pay attention to those moments when you feel alive, when you feel that you can be yourself. Those kinds of moments are really when you are into this mode of really being personally expressive. In other words, it's you.